What's up, Rockstars? Welcome to another news video. This is covering a lot of new launches of games, some updates on some other things, some stuff coming up, and in general, just a whole bunch of good news to know. Thank you to my channel sponsor Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. As always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that this channel is possible. If you appreciate the content that I provide every single week for you guys, you can give even $1 a month. It is greatly appreciated. There is a link down below. Thank you so much. That out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into things. First, a quick apology that I haven't had a video in a while, that I'm behind on my Malia review. I've been swamped with work. I literally had an all-nighter. I hadn't done that in a while. I'm not getting any younger. That's rough to do, but had a big delivery due on Tuesday, and still actually need to follow up with some items. So I haven't done anything in the hobby space at all for a few days now, and I do greatly apologize for that. All right, now the first thing in the news I'm going to touch on is actually something that I think you just need to be aware of, because we as an industry need to support ourselves and the people in it that are making it possible. And this is why typically, even if you're against maybe a certain game or a creator or a content creator or anything like that, I think it's important to realize that at the end of the day, we're all trying to just make this industry as good as possible. And this was actually for Iridia. If you don't know, Far Off Games did a fantastic job with this. 1.3 million bucks just in the Kickstarter. I'm sure that's raised even more in the Pledge Manager. 10.5 thousand backers is huge. That's a runaway success. However, at the end of the day, it's just a board game. What matters is family and the people that we play these games with. And sadly, Cody is dealing with that. He's dealing with that dragon, which is cancer. His son, actually, one of his kids has this. And it's just really unfortunate that life gives you such great things like success in this space and the ability to do what he loves and all that, but then also is fairly cruel when it's not even deserved, which is, I think, what makes it even crueler. So very, very sad. My prayers, my thoughts go out to him, and I cannot fathom, as a father myself, how that must be. So anyway, feel free to show Cody some love, reach out to him, let him know that whatever life throws at him, that he has a whole bunch of people that actually care. Yeah, anything you can do to help with that situation, I think would be great. He is just stand up, by the way, because after that, he still wrote an update. Like, what the heck are you doing here? like this is great. This is awesome. It really is. However, like, this just doesn't need to be here. Like, focus on what you need to focus on. And I'm sure everybody will understand that. So anyway, there's a few updates here. I'll link to it. Feel free to go ahead and read through the situation, what the progress is on things. And because he's been gracious enough to share, hopefully it's therapeutic for him to share that kind of stuff. I know sometimes it's nice just to be able to say it and to write it down, right? Instead of it just kind of internalizing in your head. But seriously, Cody, take some time with your family. Don't worry about updates, which is not something I normally say in this channel. And the fact that you were able to update, even going through that, and some people can't be bothered to write an update unless it's like once every 4 months to try and sell you more stuff, just shows your passion and your dedication. And it is greatly appreciated, greatly rewarded. And yeah, I hope things improve for you as best as they can. And it's so unfortunate that words can't express it properly. And I know this is kind of a sad start to it, but we'll pick up, I promise. Speaking of which, this is Catapult Feud Ukraine Edition, 10,000 raised, 296 backers. It's still 16 days to go. If you didn't know, Fun Games Shop is in Kiev, Ukraine is where they're typically stationed, and they were going to make the Ukrainian version. They'd given the rights to get this for Catapult Feud, and they were just going to do their normal thing, right? This is actually their first Kickstarter. They're not normally on here. They're doing this. But obviously with the situation, things went south really quick, and they need to kind of gather funds to still be able to deliver this, which I think this is great. Again, this is the community, this is the industry supporting itself. And so that's awesome. So, and they show plenty of stuff here, right? They're showing all this kind of, I mean, you've seen the game, you just haven't seen the Ukrainian version of this. And a few things to note here. First of all, if you're thinking of getting the game, this might be a nice way to do it. While it is a Ukrainian version, there are no prints on the card. There are no words on the cards and stuff like that. The box is in Ukraine. The rule book is, but they have a free English rule book as well that's just existed, for Catapult Feud in general for quite some time. So you can actually still do this and support. There's also an option that they're doing to where you can essentially buy it and say, don't ship me my product, give it to the children in that, need some kind of enjoyment in their days now that they're kind of dealing with this stuff in Ukraine, actually. So there's a lot that they don't list here when it comes to stuff like, okay, well, like how do you determine those and stuff like that. But go ahead and read what they have here. And if you're interested in this, or even if you just consider it kind of like a donation, you can do that as well. If you are wanting to actually donate, though, I would suggest going outside of Kickstarter for that. Kickstarter is going to take 10% of it. It's not like they have a feature that a lot of places have where you can say for donation and they don't take a cut, right? I know that a lot of companies do something like that for like fundraisers and stuff. Kickstarter, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't. So if you want to donate, go to where more of your dollar is put towards it, hopefully. But if you want to donate in a very specific way, like providing a board game and stuff like that, this is actually a pretty cool way to do it. So anyway, this is down here. And again, there's links to everything down below. Next up, Tamashii Chronicle of Ascend. I know I didn't get this day of launch. I didn't cover it. Apologize again. I'm very late, and I can do nothing but apologize for that. But this is exploding, obviously, right? Over 500,000. They even address the whole Awaken Realms Light now making a game that's very much not light, which is just, hey, we were passionate about this. We wanted to do something big, and so we did this. And I fully support creator freedom like that. This is what makes the crowdfunding so great, is that you can do something like that. If you have this and it may not be as marketable, or it may not be this, or it may not be that, it doesn't check this box or that, that's fine. You want to make it, you go make it. We'll see if it funds it. Funded, great. Now everybody gets that you made. I think that's awesome. So that's really cool. It's the typical Awaken Realm experience. So some beautiful art, beautiful sculpts, a lot of information on the page. You get the concept arts, you get the votes, you get all that kind of stuff. They're doing standees as well. So there is a cheaper entry point if need be, and then you can add adventures on top. Overall, solid campaign. I think that's really, really cool. I think the only thing that still kind of confuses me is exactly how this game plays. I think I'd have to actually watch some videos to really understand the Kickstarter page that you just went through. The completely doesn't really show it that well. So if there's any kind of feedback there, I would do that, and just make sure you have that elevator pitch for somebody who, before they decide I'm going to invest a whole bunch of my time that's limited into even seeing what your game's about, really sell them on how this game actually plays. GIFs are very helpful for that because they show short animations, so you can get mechanics down, stuff like that. But I'm sure Awaken Realms knows how to do it. They just didn't in this case. Hopefully they can improve that. I think a little bit more of a scroll and some really good kind of elevator pitch, high level. Here, you don't have to invest a whole bunch of time searching for this. Here's kind of how the game plays. Like a good synopsis, I think, would improve. But yeah, no, doing great. How many? 5,200 backers. And I imagine, like most Awaken Realm campaigns, they're pretty much all happy. All right, next up I have Malia Lands of Legend. Again, I do have an unboxing of this. I will have a review of this as well. Again, I know it's late, and I do apologize for that. I have about 15 days to do it. Life came in, and it is what it is. They're doing a pretty solid campaign, though. They're doing like the whole days right here, which is very helpful. I like that when companies update that image, because it is kind of the first thing. It links to the same video, but it's really nice that there's that image update there. I think that's super helpful. It looks like they have quite a bit of information on this, which is nice. They talk about the game, especially the stealth mechanics. which I apparently are kind of a big thing here. All the sculpts you see, everything, all the counts of different things. They name stuff really smart, like Double Sword and Dragon, in case you were wondering what those things are called. So from what I can tell, it looks pretty solid. It has a typical, I think, kind of dungeon crawl thing. You're going through dungeons, right? You got skill checks, all that kind of stuff. This is a neat thing too. They have these like little numbered header things, which is kind of helpful. Again, it would be nice if Kickstarter, got off their butts and did something and made something at least like what GameFound has with the header anchors. That'd be kind of nice, but it is what it is. Either way, feel free to check this out. They got a lot of videos. Mine is not one of them when it comes to the review. Again, I apologize for that, but that's just where we're at. All right, then we also have Rumors and Legends. This is an interesting one. I actually looked into this a little bit. It's at 40,000 right now, 415 backers, 7 days to go. It's made by Bigabot Games. It's their first game they've done actually on Kickstarter. And what perked my interest is, first of all, the theme looks kind of cool, but it has really big minis too. Like that actually doesn't show quite well, but when you see the video, they're like that. I mean, like they're kind of chunky. So what this is it's essentially Clue. It's a game of Clue with a much cooler theme, and some other mechanics you can add on to there, including like timetables and stuff like that. But it's essentially you going from area to area with, a few unique things, to see who done it with which monster and how, right? And, overall looks kind of neat. It's definitely something that, is like lighter, party fare, but, it's a unique theme, I think, for what it is, with a few added twists and stuff like that. So yeah, it could be a black hole or an explosion, volcano abduction, sacrifice time. It's very silly. I love the theme. I think that's pretty cool. All right, next up we have Earth Under Siege Flashpoint. This was their relaunch because they had to launch a day later because they accidentally had some shipping in the first one, which they thought one way, but then you click launch, then oh crap, it's there. Okay, well, so anyway, that's what they did here. They're at 154,000, so right around 155, still 7 days to go there. And they're adding new enemies and stuff like that. I actually had a chat with the developer, great guy, by the way. He's one of the few people, Dragori Games was another one, that Archon has done this as well, reached out to me after the review and wanted to know if that was in fact every issue I had, and if so, if we could talk more about it so that, in other words, let's discuss the cons, right? What didn't you like about it? How can we make it better? And there's been already some really cool progress, that he's going to mention to me around, the tests, especially, stealth checks, which are much more important than like a combat check or something like that. Cause you can get to kind of a fail state, pretty much in the game early if you fail one of those. So, anyway, they're definitely looking at it. It's going to be, I think, really, really nice when all is said and done. It already was enough for me to back even before he contacted me. So, yeah, definitely kind of interested in that. They're adding more stuff, more operators, more enemies, different mechanics, stuff like that. You can kind of see some of the stuff that they've been adding, a ton of stuff actually. So, yeah, be sure to check that out as well if you are at all interested. And if you didn't see it or you're interested, course, that review's down there also. Next up, they also have the Bad Karmas and the Curse of the Zodiac. It's at 143, so right around the same amount, but their whole goal is 200 plus. K, which they said is a real goal. It's not a fake goal. They're not interested in that. They're trying to do this as safe and correct as possible. So that's kind of where they're at now. If they're at 143, as long as they keep, the momentum going, they'll certainly reach it. It's been like a day. So, and they have 28 days to go, so a very long time. But anyway, they've been adding some stuff as well. And they've also been in communication, kind of working on different things. Hey, there I am. Anyway, so that's that. They're talking about a fifth operator now, which is pretty cool. I think that's neat. And they've clarified stuff around like warranties and all that kind of stuff. One thing I wasn't able to share because I haven't made a video, is this is kind of interesting. So their Platinum Vow with the 10% off next 3 games. It's the next 3 games you back, not even necessarily their next 3. So you don't have to feel like you don't feel like, oh, I'm going to miss out if I don't back this one. That's not the case. Also, their next ones they do, which I think is probably listed down here. There's Sword and Sorcery and Vampires of the Masquerade are kind of the 2 they've listed. They will be running that Kickstarter. And the reason they're running the Kickstarter is so they control that 10%. So, my goodness, the scroll on this is real. Oh yeah, they're also looking at adding him. I'll show you the art there. Looks pretty cool. They're kind of talking through it right now. Yeah, so these are the 2 coming, and of course there's more. So I've heard about some dungeon crawls and some other stuff that's eventually going to be on there. So they're going to keep kind of adding to this. But it is kind of cool that if you do it right away, you do get that 10% off on the next 3 you back from them, which is, I think, pretty cool. I think that's neat. Let's go to the update real quick. I'll show you. I think it's A New Beginning, was it? Yeah, here he is. So this is kind of their artwork 1, 2, and 3. Pros and cons to both, obviously, or I guess all 3. So he's either missing a head, or he kind of has one, or he's like way different. Just depends on where you want that orb, right? Anyway, pretty cool there. Let's see, another update for Pericle Gathering Darkness. That $1 pledge was just so I could comment earlier. You guys know how that works. It's because Kickstarter doesn't allow you just to comment otherwise. Anyway, I wanted to post their VIP resolution. So again, contacted me, wanted to, really, really hone in on what was being asked, what they need to do, and what best practice they should do to be able to right this wrong, right? Which is what they're working on. Anybody who gave them $1 or $5 will get a refund, will get that money back towards the pledge manager, so they will get it cheaper than everybody else. That's what you got for your VIP. They're also going to be adding an exclusive VIP loot crate. It's a digital loot crate, so you'll be able to, it probably comes with, I don't know what it comes with. Depends on what they're digitizing there. Plus, of course, name on the hero book, stuff like that. So feel free to read that if you want to, but I mean, that's definitely the goal is, crap, we made a mistake. All right, let's make it better. And as I always say, it's not the fact that you made a mistake, it's how you react to it that matters. Because we all make mistakes. I do, you do, we all do. It happens. So anyway, that was cool of Long Dog Games to be doing that. And they're approaching 200,000 right now with over 1,000 backers, which is pretty darn cool, I think. All right, next up we have Sentinels of the Multiverse Rook City Renegades expansion. Almost 300,000. Very popular, obviously. Almost 4,000 backers. I think it looks cool, but that's the only thing I do is think it looks cool. And the reason I don't have more, the reason I'm not backing this right now is because I have no earthly idea if this is a standalone expansion, how the game plays. It just assumes you've already owned the base game and do that. It's only pitched towards people that are already in the system, which is dumb in my opinion. You need to like get new people like me. They're like, oh crap, what is this? I need more comic book card games. What is going on here? Especially because this does like the old style comic books. Like I remember I used to read these old Spider-Man comics all the time. X-Men, same thing, right? I mean, even before like Magic was introduced, the character Magic with a K, like old golden age stuff, and I really enjoyed those. They were solid stories. I feel they're resolved quicker. That's why I liked them. We like to do big long arcs these days. Anyway, besides the point. Very cool that they're doing that, and they offer like, hey, you can get like everything. You can get both games. But I guess like, is this expansion standalone? Could I just get this? And if so, how does it play? I don't know. It says gameplay overview and then tells me no mechanics. It tells me the new Mr. Fix-It and what he does as a mechanic, but I don't know. So it's really unfortunate, and it shows that if they put more effort into just a couple pictures and a text on their campaign and really actually marketed it and told people what it is, they'd be making even more. The fact that they're almost at 4K backers, almost $300,000, and you don't even know how the game plays. Very, very cool to see that it's such a great game. I just need to know how the game plays. Hopefully they can add that because I would definitely be interested. So yeah, anyway, there's that. Oko Chronicles Cycle of Earth. This is coming up soon, and I will have an unboxing, probably 2. I got some miniatures already, and then I'll also be getting the game proper. So I will let you guys know. Again, I'll be doing that unboxing. I'll be doing the review. I'm obviously working on the channel again. Again, apologize for the couple day delay there, but yeah. Definitely interested. It's still like Oko in a lot of ways, but it's like this tower defense kind of thing and kind of interesting. All right, next up, Dark Quarter was delayed until April 12th. I think personally, this isn't so much oh crap, it's just not ready yet, as it is a strategic thing to just go to April for probably a variety of reasons for them. Obviously, more work is better. Always, when it comes to doing a Kickstarter, the more work you do ahead of time, the better. But I don't think it's like the, oh crap, I wasn't ready yet. I think they've been planning this pretty well. And I think it's just a normal kind of more logistical delay than that. A practical delay. All right, next up, we have Batman Gotham Chronicles also delayed. It was delayed to May 24th. So we are 10 weeks out. So they explain it pretty well here, really. That some validations of both the role-playing game and the board game are taking longer than expected. In other words, IP approval. It's good that they're doing that ahead of time instead of after. If you want to see what it looks like afterwards, look at Street Fighter the Miniatures game. You'll see the delays there. Well, this is disappointing. Again, some IP holders are really quick on it and don't really care. Some are really quick on it but care a lot, so you got to do a lot of iterations, and some are just really slow. There are some, I believe, Capcom actually does put a limit to the amount you can give them per week. Actually, they'll say we'll approve like 5 pictures. So if you get a whole bunch of pictures a week, I mean, literally you can't progress. And then if you have to do updates, and it can get really messy. Anyway, opportunity has also arisen for us to involve us in most comic book artists and stuff like that, so that's good. They also mentioned the Batman movie heralds an extended celebration of the Batverse that we will be joining over the next few months. So it sounds like they will be including some movie stuff in there. That would be amazing. Please give me that Batmobile, because that Batmobile is freaking sweet. And yeah, if I can get and paint Pattinson as a Batman, all for it. I've seen the movie twice now. It's very good. I had to take my kids the second time. First time I checked it out, make sure it's okay, and I'm like, all right, older kids can go. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And if you want to talk spoilers or what the name drops of some important people, I'm all ears. Let's talk about it. All right, next up, Nightmare Cathedral has an update now, so you can actually see a lot more of it. There's a link here, so be sure to notice this is a link to the full gallery. I'm not going to click it right now and show you guys. You guys can look at it, painted and unpainted. You can see the miniature. This is a 3D print that they did of this one, but they also have a whole bunch of these different videos showing everything from gameplay to like a miniature showcase and stuff like that. A lot of stuff here to look at. Again, link down below to that as we prep for the launch there. Euthia, Torment of Resurrection, and Fierce Powers also now has a pre-campaign update that's going over a whole bunch of stuff. They got the quest, they got the world, they have the threat, I think is next. Yep, the threat, and then the fight. So it kind of goes and talks about a whole bunch of things, and it's kind of a good read more than a visually stimulating thing. They do have a lot of artwork here too. All right, next up we have Tinum Brave Fate of Asteria. This is by Chimera Models. They make fantastic miniatures, and this is a miniature campaign. They're going to have 75, you can see it there, and 38mm Gothic Fantasy World minis. Yes, please. Here's an example of one. That looks amazing. The teeth on that thing are hardcore, man. I'll tell you what, looks freaking cool though. I love his feet too. Very much not exactly human kind of feel to him, which is super neat. And then of course there is Kingdoms of Akandia, the Seven Realms. This is covered because their abbreviation is KOA, and I think that's funny because my abbreviation is also KOA. I don't know much about it. I think the minis look kind of crap. But hopefully the gameplay's still good. They do have a early bird and stuff like that, so feel free to click to notify me. They did reach out with some info. I need to read that, look it up. I'll let you guys know. But it says here, extensive and cooperative board game for 1 to 4 players with a unique battle system and resource management. Well, I like pretty much all those words. So definitely interested in the game, even if not the minis. All right, guys, that's it. I wanted this to be a quicker video, but I also needed to cover a whole bunch of things to kind of catch up. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, again, obviously there is that like button to subscribe if you want to see other videos, whether it's reviews and unboxings or news coverage of these games. I'm thinking of doing a video just about Ukraine. There's a lot of board game companies that are doing various things, showing this campaign, kind of caught my attention to that. There's a few ways you can both get a good game but also donate. If you would like a video dedicated to that, I certainly could compile that for you guys and to kind of share it out. It's probably a good video to do anyway, but there's plenty more. There's some talking videos, some top 10 lists. There's some good stuff coming, so I hope you do enjoy that. And with that out of the way, have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys again very soon. Bye, guys.